say obe starting no was one way reverend say ya ye ka say or person ye bishop no be person ye bishop wa say nipa no suban etesesen enkomo odi ansan was starting
Blackwell, who did quite a lot of these things over the last 8 years of Akufo-Addo's administration.
No, Okudzeto is a very good friend. Is he a bishop? I want to be a bishop. He's an archbishop. He who desires the office of a bishop desires a good thing, noble thing. That is what I desire. That one day I may no longer be reverend. Paul, you invite me to your show, Bishop Ntim Fordjour. That is my desire. How will he be my role model? And what does he do that I admire?
The foreign minister Samuel Okudzeto.
Confirm me subscribe to channel way, but omuni eye notifications me ba live for anase me post video to ma omu hunu me video nhwe. Etian wan se obekọ eye YouTube no so wabọ me din Ekonaba TV no ebe yaba. Eyi ba no wabọ me video ba akoso. Obo me video ba akoso a se won subscribe ya no wamia subscribe button no so. Se won subscribe so no wamia adoma no so to all notification. We ne saa na se me the video tumu a ubonsa won sabe kana won so wanya bi ahwe. Se de be ya me ba obehu me nti no. Mia adoma no so na Facebook kai so be like me page no say the be ya me video bi a me post bi ansa betimi aka bi betimi akọ settings e wo phone no so na wa mia settings no akọ notification na afi akọ mia eye YouTube no wo dia to notification button to wa mia to ho say the be ya me ba live wa benya me nti na me kire saa no ma we nyina me serew say wonya ne saa ye ne saa so won subscribe to me channel so subscribe to channel say the video to ma unsa betimi akabi medase Rev Ntim eja ole agu NDC for no tuna no woden papa no so wontwema wo mu tebi papa no so wontwema wo o se afa kura no obema evidence upon evidence na asem wo be kan yese kokain bi e dia ba be wura mu o Ghana a no wo kire se saa eye nubone no Ahmed bi na de baaye eni ade no ne evidence a wo woni nyina na afa no obebiebie mu ankasa na ne nkomo anu wodi no ana Paul adomo chiri busa na question bi Paul busa ne say de wuye no akwese Samuel Okudjato abrakwa de no woye ni bi no se dabi emfamento to Samuel Okudjato abrakwa na Samuel Okudjato abrakwa oye bishop anaso e de me pese me aspire the office of as a bishop no obi am pese me koye bishop de e wo se me nyoma meye eni me nyoma me de to akwan so no e wo se ho etimete ntu de Samuel Okudjato abrakwa totomi a emfa because ono onka so person okoye bishop medium pese me koye bishop odi nkomo we ni to abonte na nkofo se papa we ya dwunu ma bi papa me ka bibia ase na minim ni da enu ko na me ka che ho na minim ni da kopim se case we ba ya o start is wo kasa meeting wona me say utim se na adwunu ma bie ana tim se ade a wo ye bia so wa heda wa se wonimade kro a wo ya to abonten no ana won se omo ye sa Methodist Anglican ni Presbyterian sa so for o so mo ko school pa o yeah o mo ko school pa nti se wa suade ene wo san so de ewura politics na wo ye ni mu enti ni nkomo a odi to abonten no utim se vim ne ha wo si kasa na anu woten enu bi na o mo de akatachie ye na o mo ntimi nchi akatachie no o so akatachie aso woten ene wasan ko school asan ko suan law o so obi anaso woden a wasa suan law no o bebere o enti wakatachie kasa wo no wode mra no enti o mo chi no o mo gya no enti senior man what to papa Ntim Rev Ntim what we utimi se wa school eno ade bi a obeka bia so wonim so ye sofo nti no obeka ade ye ntura amanfo be baahye me kwase metima baahye no enti de obeka bia no oto na boye investigation ansa no de abeto form tie se mo ka kire Paul adomo chetam okotena eye good evening so no ole muti
Does he do that I admire?
The foreign minister Samuel Okudzeto Blackwell, who did quite a lot of these things over the last 8 years of Akufo-Addo's administration.
No, Okudzeto is a very good friend. Is he a bishop? I want to be a bishop. He's an archbishop. He who desires the office of a bishop desires a good thing, noble thing. That is what I desire. That one day I may no longer be reverend. Paul, you invite me to your show, Bishop Ntim Fordjour. That is my desire. How will he be my role model? And what does he do that I admire?
The foreign minister Samuel Okudzeto Blackwell, who did quite a lot of these things over the last 8 years of Akufo-Addo's administration.
No, Okudzeto is a very good friend. Is he a bishop? I want to be a bishop. He's an archbishop. He who desires the office of a bishop desires a good thing, noble thing. That is what I desire. That one day I may no longer be reverend. Paul, you invite me to your show, Bishop Ntim Fordjour. That is my desire. How will he be my role model? And
papa we dey odi adesua betwe manson papa na owie na agya wo be start akirechire mu akire po adomo kire adekro potin esiye time wokotena eye joy news so no na omu di nkomo le Samson di nkomo no adekro potin esiye ntia osori free page no so no afi no obechirechire mu angasa.
Put out a social media post. The host, very good friend of mine, Samson Ladi, the man we all respect, also put out a post. You are alleging that some text messages were read that were not from the system. What was it about?
No, I don't think Samson is a man that you should maintain that kind of respect for what he did.
No, I wasn't there. So
no, there was a willful, like, staged and planned attempt, to denigrate, to run derogatory, past prejudicial. Even right on the set, even before I joined in the first instance, Rev Ntim Fordjour must shut up or face jail. Does he have proof? He must shut up. Samson.
He used the word shut up?
Shut up or face jail. And
face jail?
Yes, face
for
jail.
For what offense?
For what offense?
Defrauding by false pretenses.
Well, probably the one who brought the cocaine and all that. The bastard cocaine, the 150 million and 350 million. No, he said, I spoke up, I questioned. And why did I put it in the media? So, in the course of it, he kept on and on. I put it to you. You should be in jail or by now be in court, facing trial and getting bail, seeking bail and all that.
I'm surprised about
and I asked him, so for what offense?
But you were a whistleblower.
For what offense?
The whistleblowers go to jail.
I, as a ranking member of Defense and Interior Committee, exercising my oversight, I intercept credible intelligence.
I think that's why Samson is worried. How do you know it's credible?
Backed, with basis for which we have brought up these questions that what did the suspicious two flights? So investigate and tell us what it did. This is what you have brought. Very flimsy, unnecessary story kind of thing. That's what Kwachu also brings. Gagging the national security from professionally conducting their investigations.
Okay, but Reverend, you can't blame Samson for the text message that people sent.
No, so let me say, I never walked out. Paul, I never walked out. And I must put it on record, I never walked out on the show. Yeah,
but the show started with you. When they came back, you were not on.
Before I got in the invitation, I was specifically invited for the first segment. Mm-hmm. They specifically invited me to come and talk about the press conference and the suspicious flights and the cocaine and the money laundering bastard matter. So they said, right after that, they have another panel. And that panel, I was going to be replaced by the respected, Vicky Bright. Mm-hmm. Was going to replace me, take my seat, to join my respected friend, lawyer Kofi Bento, and then Sami Jemfi to continue the discussions. That was understanding, and that was the invitation for which I went.
Let's talk about the text messages. So
we held that segment, mm-hmm. and we ended it, and then we went on break. But before we were going on break, so that I'll take my leave, he read some very very diabolic, mischievous smear, messages about have a dozen of them. Denied me the opportunity to even interject. So when we finished that, he went on break, that we had ended my segment. Whilst I was exiting from my segment, I asked him, where did you read all these things from? Because from what I said and on the platform, these are not the messages people sent. Because I know the people, and I took evidence of the kind of messages people sent, and that's not what you read. So, my producer sent it to me. And right around the studio, the producer was there. So, you sent those messages to, Samson to read, to smell. Did you see the other message? Oh, no. We didn't say he should do anything. I didn't send anything to him. We didn't even discuss this matter. I told him he should even cut it quickly so that we move on to the next segment. So I came back and said, but that is what is. So you deliberately read this?
Let's understand it. So Samson Ladi read some text messages as he normally does.
Yes.
You felt that those text messages were constituted a smear campaign against you.
It was.
You asked staged. About it, and he said that the messages had been sent to him by his producer.
Yes.
You asked the producer and said he didn't send any message.
He didn't send it to him.
The producer did not even want messages read because they were running out of time.
Ran out of time.
Did Samson hear the producer say that?
I don't know if he heard it, but I have a witness.
Did you tell Samson that this is what your producer is saying?
Oh, yes, I told Samson that this is what I know, that he didn't send it. So
the producer says he didn't send it. Where did Samson get it from?
So that was the question I asked him. See, so this whole thing is,
but that is alleging, that's alleging something very serious.
That is unethical, unprofessional, biased, and
you don't have. Will the producer confirm your story?
And if I didn't know something well, I would have said other things. You know, I would have said other things. That was unethical.
Yeah, but Reverend, hold it. Will the producer confirm what you are saying, that
if the producer,
he didn't send any message?
If the producer denies, my witness who stood right there
is a witness somebody with you or somebody with Joy FM?
Somebody with Joy FM.
Then you are sure that this somebody with Joy FM will confirm this?
Unless they all want to deny and lie under oath.
You're sure you are speaking the truth?
I am sure. Suddenly become hub for cocaine dealings, drug trafficking, money laundering, and even when.
Okay, to we na jo tisi eye adekro potin na edine call Samson page ni so no. Abeta so ye taki boy church member and Sunday bi abeko no ho yo yate. E wo banyade ho. Bradi Yankopon. To we ye no. E na wo tisi eye topic na nkasa nti okotena page ni so no. E dey topic nti okotena so. According to no o say flight bi abeduru Ghana, private jet bi ni ade de eye enuboni bi nam eni sika bi ni ade nam enti opanyini ekotena eye afidie so no ye ne press conference. After the press conference na tija e wo system nim ana John Dramani Mahama e man panyimfo so wo monko cheke na omunhwa de kropotia senior ma pese wo kire ni nyina achi no wa ya so obekiri mu a omuso mo pe evidence. After what the evidence na ba begina po adom kire fidie no so enya asem ketua o anam se reverend we die wutimi se waboa no ho se woni NDC fo ne behwe so pa because okogina po adom kire yi ne so no o kire flight ni free na bae na number ni say into flight number say na bae te bedu time say na fo say into bedu na nam say yes.
Paul, so regarding the two suspicious flights from Gran Canaria, a matter which has been in the news, we are going to do evidence-based presentation to dispute the false claims by Kwacho Fosu and to show you the actual itinerary and how the movements of the suspected goods, how it took place.
So Pastor Fosu talked about two scenarios. One plane comes, is faulty. Another plane comes, delivers the parts takes up what was in the first plane, goes away. Another air-made plane comes, develops a fault. Another one comes. And he has showed us videos of the first one, and then the second one is showed that the tire is being repaired. So what do you have?
So let's go to the first one. Air-made flight, N823 AM.
Okay, so that's
the first one. So
N823 AM.
That's the air-made flight, an air ambulance.
Can anyone watching this video also go to the same site
and
get the same information?
FlightAware. Just go to FlightAware. Is a platform globally that tracks the itinerary and the flight activities of every flight. So you can come along with us.
All right, so where are we?
So now we're here, and the air ambulance, air-med flights, N823 AM, first landed from Gran Canaria.
Okay. So this column shows where it came from.
So this is where it came from.
Gran Canaria.
And the time it took
International Airport.
This is the time it took
04:59 AM, and then landed at 9:02 GMT Kotoka. On what date?
Exactly 20th March.
20th of March. Okay, this conforms with what Felix said anyway.
Absolutely.
All right,
so this is a flight that stayed on for 5 days.
Yes.
Whatever it may probably allegedly waiting for to carry away or bring it.
This is the air ambulance type
This
plane.
is air ambulance.
Okay, it came here on 20th and stayed for 5 days.
5 days.
Okay.
And then left Kotoka International Airport 1 a.m. to Gran Canaria and arrived Gran Canaria 5.
So it came from Gran Canaria of the island of Spain.
Yes.
And then left to the same place.
Absolutely.
This is the airmed. Okay.
And this is the airmed. Same airmed, Felix says, that was going somewhere and it only arrived in Ghana for a rest stop and developed faults. And the part two
Felix said it's arrived in Ghana.
It arrived in Ghana.
The document says it's arrived in Ghana.
And it developed faults for 5 days.
Felix said it went back to Europe. Is that what I said?
Yes, Felix says that it went back to Europe.
And it did go back to Europe, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
But he said that it was going somewhere. And then it developed faults, and when it was fixed, it didn't go where he was going, but it went back to Gran Canaria.
So you are suggesting to us that it wasn't going anywhere. It was coming from Gran Canaria to Ghana and going back to Gran Canaria.
Absolutely.
So any suggestion that it was on its way, something is not correct.
And we're going to show you the next part, the next piece of the evidence will be the activity log on the maintenance history of this same air flight to expose Felix on the so-called maintenance the tie that says had to be replaced, the oil, and everything he said was repaired on this. We will show in the activity log for Ghanaians to see what happened on this.
Okay, so next, what are we
So
seeing?
the next one, we're going to the Air Med flight 864 AM, which supposedly,
What's
according
that
to
one?
this is an air ambulance. It's not even supposed to
The same
carry-
air ambulance.
Absolutely.
So this is the second one that came.
This is the second one that Kwacho Fosu claims came to bring parts.
Yes, he
ties
said that.
and goods.
Yeah,
But
okay.
mind you, it is an air ambulance. It's not supposed to carry cargo.
Okay, let's look at the
So
log first.
let's look at the itinerary. So,
Where's the itinerary?
so 22nd of March.
They're going to pick it up. Can you put the yellow on there? Yeah, there they have it. It's over here.
Yeah.
22nd of March. Gran Canaria against that the second plane also came from
Gran Canaria.
Oh, okay, to Kotoka International Airport.
So straight from Gran Canaria to Kotoka International Airport. But
Leaving at 1:32 a.m.
AM.
that time, European time, and then arriving at 5:54 a.m. GMT.
yes.
Okay.
But you see, the aircraft hub is not in Gran Canaria. So if they really even wanted to bring parts to fix this broken aircraft, they couldn't have brought it from Gran Canaria.
I don't understand that.
You see, every airline has their air hub.
So
The
like
aircraft
British
hub.
Airways hub is in London.
Absolutely. This Air Med, their aircraft hub is in America.
So their home is not Gran Canaria.
No, they don't even have any air hub around, aircraft hub around Gran Canaria or anywhere in Africa.
Okay.
So if they really had something to bring, they would have brought it from USA straight to the spot where they need to deliver that part. But again, so it couldn't have come from Gran Canaria to deliver ties and parts and gear, because I'll even show you the picture of this particular airline and the fact that it doesn't even have cargo compartment. But let's stay on the history.
Okay, there's a photograph here.
Okay, so we'll get back to the history. But this is a photograph. So this is the same as the NA2AM. It's the same.
The same design, but this is not the same plane.
Absolutely. The Air Med series, the N series, like the NA23AM, they are the same mode.
Yes.
All the N series are the same
So
mode.
what's the point?
So if they had a compartment, a cargo compartment, it would have been here. This is the engine. So the engine would have been shifted this way so that you would have seen a compartment door somewhere here, showing that you can open, just as we have a door here. You would have seen a cargo compartment here where you would open and put those ties and whatever.
So the
parts.
luggages of the passengers, where did they put it?
So this is not a passenger. This is just for ambulance. So
if somebody is unwell, where do they put the luggage?
So it is just designed to carry patients. So they carry them on the stretcher, and then they put them in here. And so if there's any tie, supposedly...
No, but if there's luggage, passenger luggage, where does it go? Because the patient may go with doctors, nurses, somebody else.
No.
Luggage.
So there's no compartment. So they'll put it somewhere
Inside,
yes.
there.
In the up
So
there,
you mean it
in the
doesn't take
compartment.
heavy
Because
luggage?
this is
That
an
it cannot
ambulance.
take
Absolutely.
heavy luggage.
It cannot
Yeah.
take heavy.
All right, okay.
And so there's no compartment showing here that they put those ties in there. And if Kwacho Fosu claims and maintains that they carry that flight, they carry the ties and the parts inside this aircraft, it's violation of the federal laws. And by this, Kwacho Fosu is indicting the airline, and they can face possible prosecution for violation. Because you're not supposed to carry ties inside, only patients. So so that's the point.
Let's go on. Let's see whether you can convince us. This one is 50-50, but let's go on.
Yeah.
Okay, what next?
So the next one, there's even suspicion on this same flight. Let's check from Gran Canaria. Comes
why
to
any
Kotoka
research?
International Airport. Same 22nd March. On that same 22nd March, he leaves Kotoka International Airport to Luanda in Angola.
Just near Luanda.
Yes.
Where is near Luanda?
It's in Angola.
A place called near Luanda.
Yeah. That's how they've configured it.
No, say that again. So the plane that came to Accra
On 22nd,
the same day,
the same day, left Kotoka.
that was not part of Kwacho Fosu's briefing.
It wasn't. He said he came, Kwacho Fosu says that he came on 22nd and stayed on the 25th.
That's what he said, yes.
Yes.
But you are saying that, are you sure?
Oh, yes. So that is what we are saying. So
And anybody can check this?
anybody can check it. And from there, he came again to Quattro de Febra. It's in
Hold on. Let me,
Pressure penny. Hey! Why any research you? Who teams what trans the demo bed, the hours ben why research you? Hey! pressure pa na papa etumo mo sa NDC for sa.
So Kotoka International Airport, same day, goes to near Luanda. It leaves at 7:26 a.m.
Absolutely.
Last scene is 11:51 a.m.
That's it.
At the near Luanda place.
That's it. From there, the same day, so it did a lot of rounds. And then the same day, it went to Quatro de Fevereiro in Angola.
No, is it?
It left, yes.
Where is that?
So,
This is
Quatro de Fevereiro.
Quatro is here.
Yes.
Quatro de Fevereiro.
Yeah.
And then let's be clear what we are looking at
So
here. This one.
Quatro de Fevereiro
Yes,
in Angola.
It's in Angola.
Yes. So it left for the
Lanceria.
Lanceria, and then from Lanceria, the next day, which is 23rd, left Lanceria to the same Quatro de Fevereiro. So you could see the back and
Oh,
forth.
this is interesting. So from Accra,
So
from Canary Island to
Yeah.
Kotoka to near Luanda to
Lanceria,
Lanceria and then to
Quatro de
Quatro.
Fevereiro.
Same plane.
Absolutely. And from Quatro de Fevereiro back to Kotoka on 24th March.
Oh, wow.
All this history contradicts what Quatro Fosu puts out there.
Hey!
And on 20,
I'm confused.
Hey. Acquire the research. Hey. Wow.
Kwashior Fosu says the plane comes on 20th and it's here till 25th because it developed a fault and then another plane comes. You are suggesting to us that that's untrue.
No, that's not true. And you can play his voice.
Is it time to play his voice yet? Is it time to play it? If it's time to play, let's
So
hear
you can
it.
play his voice so that
Let's
we hear his assertion on the N864.
Whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing gear, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with tires and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged tires of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Kotoka International Airport on 25th March.
It doesn't tell us is that it didn't stay from 20th to 25th.
No,
and when he says it had a technical issue, it may not be true because it moved.
So, Paul, the AirMed 823 AM is the one that, according to Kwachi Ofusu, had faults, which arrived on 20th March.
Yes.
And was waiting for this new one to bring parts, which I'm
let's
disputing
say-
that they couldn't have brought parts.
There's a flight now. Reverend Eka Nwasemo. Omo no di beye delivery. Delivery flight. Omo di beye delivery. Aya say, I will be yare. Eye ambulance afa yarefo anasa afa obi a ohia immediate emergency service bi. Ena omo di afa nneoma na wo so just say omo di afa na omo di ye delivery no. Eko countries bia papa sa ba Ghana. Na say Ghana ho ne beye transit. Hey, information is go online. Obetimi about check is here. Wow.
Because it's not designed for compartment.
That's okay, but the
And
other one that he
it
says
came-
stayed and you say it didn't stay.
That's this one, N864. It says that it arrived from Luanda on 22nd March, which is false. It arrived from Gran Canaria on 22nd March.
It didn't arrive from Luanda.
No, not Luanda. It arrived from Gran Canaria, the same Gran Canaria, straight to Kotoka International Airport. It took off 1:32 a.m. from Gran Canaria, arrived at Kotoka 5:44.
And took off again
and
to
did
near
back
Luanda.
and forth.
Same day.
Yes, same day.
The plane that he said had developed faults and couldn't move.
No,
you are saying
no, that is not that one is still. So there are two of them. The N823 and N823.
And the point asem na se. Fly plane na AirMed na enya yade no. A o yade a wapira no. A yade ho pass e bre no. Eno de asi Ghana we no si Ghana o. Ana plane na edi materials ne back plane na enya problem okotoka no ho no. Onu mo de ba wie no. Eno okọ places pa. Eno was san ba Ghana ho back. Wow.
AM is the one he claims was faulty and was here.
okay, so
That
according
one-
to your fact, the one that was faulty and was here for 5 days was
That
here.
one was here for that 5
Yeah, we need
days.
to clarify because I was thinking you said it moved.
No, that one was here.
It was here for 5 days.
Yes.
Okay, which one moved?
So the one that he claims brought cargo, which couldn't have brought cargo because it hasn't have any cargo.
Oh, that's the one you said didn't come from Luanda.
It didn't come from Luanda.
Oh, the second one.
Yes, it came
Aha,
straight
it's
from
clear
Gran
now.
Canaria.
The second one came from Gran Canaria.
It didn't come from Rwanda.
Oh,
Gran Canaria.
I see. Okay.
And
Now
then-
we get it.
and then
okay,
according
let's
to-
clarify. One plane, Air Med came. He said developed false and remained here for 5 days.
Yes.
According to your information,
That
it
did stay.
It did remain for 5 days.
5 days.
So Kwacho Fosu is right on that one.
But he's wrong
Then
about.
he says a second one came in from Luanda to bring parts.
Absolutely.
That's the one you are challenging.
That's the one I'm challenging.
That it didn't come from
It
Luanda.
didn't come from Rwanda. It came from Gran Canaria.
Okay.
And then it stayed. It didn't stay here to the 25th of March that he claimed.
No, the
went back.
25th is the first plane.
No, he also claimed that this same
The second one also
stayed
stayed to 25th?
Absolutely. And then that's the movement. So you can see from
But
Gran
you say that
Canaria,
one left Ghana the same day.
it left the same day to Luanda and then back to Quatro de Febro, which is another airport in Angola, and then to Lanseria the next day, which is 23rd March, from Lanseria back to de Febro, and then to Kotoka International Airport. It came here 23rd March again.
So what, it came here twice?
Came here twice.
The same plane?
The same plane came here twice.
In a matter of 3-4 days?
Absolutely. And then stayed here, and then the same 24, on the next day, 24th, it left to Gran Canaria.
Oh, this is interesting. So the second plane that the Felix Kwacho Fosu says came and delivered parts and
true.
left on the 25th,
false.
did not. It
false.
came here, you don't know whether it delivered parts or not. You are challenging
Whatever
that.
it brought, Paul, whatever Kwacho Fosu claims it brought couldn't have been ties. That also calls for interrogation. Whatever he claims it brought couldn't have been ties.
Couldn't have been spare parts.
It couldn't have been parts. And there's going to be a second part which will follow shortly, which is going to detail the maintenance history. We call it the activity log. We're going to display that also to dispute the so-called faults that he claimed were on the N823. We will open it up just like we have opened. And we'll
So you
go
can see the
into
maintenance
activity,
culture.
and we will see.
And if you
we'll
see that there was
fact-check
no
it.
maintenance in Accra, then
we
we're in trouble.
will fact check it according to the
So where we are, what Felix Kwacho Fosu has to answer is that we are finding out that the second plane that came, perhaps came to Ghana, left Ghana, and came back to Ghana. And it left Ghana, went to Luanda, and went to
Quatro de
Lancernia,
Febra, yes.
and went to
Quatro de
Quatro de
Febra.
Febrero,
and then it came back to Kotoka.
wow.
from
And then after
Kotoka
Kotoka,
to
it went
Gran
to
Canaria.
and then the other one, the original one, also left on 25th to Gran Canaria.
Absolutely.
What is your suspicion then?
So this flight also, whatever it brought, since it is not, it couldn't be cargo, it couldn't be parts.
You
it
mean the
couldn't be
plane
ties.
has no capacity
It is not designed.
and no licensing and design to carry
Absolutely.
parts?
It's by
an air
regulation.
ambulance. It
By
doesn't carry
regulation,
parts.
it cannot carry parts. It cannot carry tires or gears or anything. And so if Kwacho Fosu still stands by that, it's in violation of federal law.
But if it cannot carry ties, how can it carry the things you are allegedly carrying?
Yeah, but those things are carried illicitly. So if those things are carried, they carry them on a stretcher, like a stretcher. That's how it's packaged, and then it would have been put inside,
Cash and drugs.
allegedly.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
So back onto the
when they throw fry too. When throw fry to when they throw. Hey, obi a fry plane abeka Ghana. When your problem, you di materials be plane na mona ye adwuma na hwan. You di materials ne buy any muma sen tu akwa ba wa botro. Wow. I see.
So we are going to the other plane. Are we done with air?
Yes, so now let's go to the cover.
Okay, yes, the other one. That's the one I like. It's a big, nice plane, orange and blue.
Absolutely. But I want us to hear from Felix what he said about Kavok.
Okay, let's hear what Felix Kwacho Fosu said about the second set of plane. The Kavak, is that what it's called?
Kavok Air. Antonov.
Kavok Air Antonov. Let's hear
the
what he said about it.
The CVK 7037. But let us hear the voice of.
Let's hear what he said about it.
The first one is an Antonov Flight 12BK with registration number CVK 7037. Now this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what we call a technical stop. Essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now, this plane originated from Luanda in Angola, It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil, which were contained in jerry cans. It was headed for the EU market.
Pressure
Now,
bar.
Luanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. The Swiss cargo facility at the Koruka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning.
Pressure pen.
So, what's your dispute on?
Osofo.
So whatever this video is, I will prove to you is a video scene, is a movie scene. This plane is not the CVK 7037.
Hey, Papa, we pay manson. O much a movie I bet you. Reverend Chiremwe, a movie bear. I see.
I don't understand that.
This is another Kavok Air, which is currently in Ghana, and which they carried, it's all staged.
I don't understand it.
It is all staged because
Sure.
The aircraft that we saw,
Yes.
which has purportedly departed from Ghana,
it's not.
hasn't departed.
No.
It's here.
The 7037 he's talking about, it never even came here at all. So which video is this?
No, what are you saying?
For the past 3 months, there has been no activity on the so-called 7037.
How do we know that?
So let's check.
Hey,
Put it in. That's it. Put it in. Okay.
Reverend, we are in research. Ain't na NDC for J. Coming to the moon. We evidence based. Hey, Reverend, I research.
Let's go to the. Let's go to
So
the.
according to Kwacho Fosu, this Kavok Air 70 CVK 7037 arrived, according to him, they arrived on 12th March.
12th of March, yes.
So let's check activity, show flight between 12th of March and purportedly leaving 25th March.
Okay.
Let us show.
Okay, so let's do that. So that's a calendar.
Yes.
So they go to 12th of March, correct? Okay. And then they go to
Purportedly departing 25th March.
25th of March.
And see if you will see any activity on it.
Okay, so let's see. Clicks. What does it say?
And viewers, you can come along with us. Try it also.
Yeah, viewers are looking at it. So what does it say? Where's the information?
No history data in the last 3 months.
Can viewers read this, producer? No history data searched last 3 months. That is the number of the plane. No
Absolutely.
history data.
Yes.
So why do you say it's in Ghana if there's no history data?
So there's another type of this currently in Ghana. Yes, there's another type. This 7037 hasn't been.
Ada papa ye FBI ni
You got the
ana.
number wrong.
Ada so for ye FBI ana. Hey, I know a data analyst and I said, hey, ain't in confone jano. And to kwano anu adi we yo kun mint minko. Braba kuma me because nipa no mo ne kun to kwano wa prepare o. Hey. Wow.
Maybe
No.
if it's the same type of plane, but they
No.
got a number wrong.
But
I mean,
it says that there were 2 planes. One came, developed fault.
Yes.
And another had to come
yes, precisely.
and bring parts.
So which one are we searching? The one that came or the one that had to come?
So the one that, both of them, this first one that he said came and they didn't have certification. And,
Yes.
and so
And
to
needed
Europe,
certification
and
to
needed
go to-
certification.
he came from Angola.
Angola
Needed
didn't have
certification
certification
to-
there
yeah.
and had to go to,
Europe.
come to Ghana before it gets the certification to Europe.
But whilst
2
was in
things.
Ghana developed the fault.
And once in Ghana developed
Yes,
the fault,
yes.
there are 2 falsehoods I must dispel. The first one is that it never came to Ghana because there's no history on it. The last 3 months, the last scene of this flight is December 18th, 2024. That was the last activity ever seen. It's and it's at the time. Let me just confirm.
Which country
But
was
we can even check it right here.
Okay,
So
no, we
can
don't need to
go.
do much. But so what we're saying here, and what we
The-
are putting
the
out
la-
viewers
the last
is just
time-
what we have. You can cross-check
Yes,
it. You can
the last
verify
time
it.
it flew was from Malaga, Spain to Cairo, Egypt,
In 2024.
December 18, 2024. From
That-
Spain
that-
to Egypt.
That's the last.
That's the last-
That's the last journey the
that's
plane
the
did
last activity
on its
on-
record.
Oh, yeah, FBI agent ana. Ayo good website where the ama yen ye betimi dia check bi. Hey, me nim website we kura da o. I'm to FBI agent o. Because kwa dey we okeke kale 7 dey. Enti na nkofo na twai.
That's the last activity.
It hasn't come to Ghana.
It hasn't come to Ghana.
Sure.
The last it ended in Africa was in Egypt. From Spain to Egypt,
Sure.
December 18th,
Sure.
2024. So let us check the second flight. That was the replacement.
Yes,
that
yes.
came. Let us check.
Let's please put the number up. So that's
CVK 7007.
7007.
onim numbers ni so nyina o onim numbers ni so nyina
Even want to hear confirmation from him?
No, let's do this.
stay on.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
People can always check the press conference.
Yeah.
So this one was the view more flight history. That's where we're going. Okay.
Yes.
So what dates did he say, and what are we putting in?
So he says that this flights. Let me just.
Yeah.
Just pause.
So we are trying to get
Papa
the flight
Yabuana.
dates and the details for viewers, so we can look at it. It's getting very interesting, isn't it?
Hey.
But,
So-
okay. Do you have it? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so this flight came here on the 15th of March, and you can cross-check when he says arrived here.
What did he say? You just tell us.
So we'll just cross-check.
Okay, should we listen
Yes,
to
so
Felix?
let's listen
Okay,
to
let's
him,
listen
and
to
then we'll
Felix on
fact-check
this
it.
one, the time the flights came in, if you have that.
no woni ma dia wa yenso enioma na wa chocho ni nyina no oka o mumbo Felix Kwachi de oka na menkyire mu kyeremo no omama asama ma bo Felix Kwachi asem na oka ye no omugbo wia no wasan so akyerem with evidence
Video, let's play. Listen to the government information minister.
Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCEZ, with registration number CVK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo.
So he says he came here.
Well,
So
okay, yes. So that's what he said. He came here.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that one indeed arrived here 15th of March from Harare International Airport to Kotoka.
Oh, it didn't come from Luanda.
No, it didn't come from
Harare, Zimbabwe.
Harare, Zimbabwe.
Harare, Zimbabwe was never mentioned in anything that Felix
It
said.
has never come up anywhere.
No, he has never said, but this is the record.
Absolutely, that's the record. 7 CVK 7007. That is it. And now, this flight is still in Ghana.
hey
Oh, that's interesting.
This flight hasn't left.
This plane is still in
This
Accra.
plane is still in Accra.
hey
So you're guessing that's the plane from which they
So
filmed the
that is a
activity?
film. That is the scene for their staged evidence.
So this is the plane that was filmed. So it is still in.
oh did ya Kwachi for so be kan ye no ah what flight na di eye oil se hwan ne ba na ni stage kasi
Ghana.
This is the Carvolk Air that is still in Ghana. And then and I dare Civil Aviation Authority and Ghana Airport to produce it. They should check all the hangars. It is there, it hasn't left. The records are here. This is flight aware. Hasn't left anywhere. So they went onto that flight. You see, when you see that video, you could see clearly a stage thing because which airline?
I was concerned about who filmed it.
Yes.
And why did they film it?
Which, in the normal practice, you've been the board chair of Ghana Airport Company. You know the practices at the aviation. When an airline lands and whether it's coming for maintenance or it's coming to replace, do we have, this whole thing filming? Or did they have some intelligence that something was going to happen for which all of them assembled, like over a dozen of inspectors, like over 20 inspectors, you saw them in the video, wearing their jack vests. And then to stage that they came and inspected it because and then they filmed it. Is it a standard practice that you film, planes that are arriving as replacement? So whatever, if that video was true, so whatever it is, my conclusion is that this is the same flight, which is still here. So national security, Ghana Airport, civil aviation, let us have this checked. And then flight aware will not lie. You're asking for evidence. That is it.
But you're a member of parliament. You can put an urgent question for the Minister for Transport, Minister for Defense, and then they can answer.
We will go the full haul. You see, everything we have, from the way I've been sequencing it, I drop it piece by piece, piece by piece, but the whole fact is together. But it's sequenced. And right here on your platform, we're going to unravel it all. They dared me for evidence. And that is the path we're going to go.
So you're going to come back with us with the
maintenance
culture.
The maintenance activity, the activity
to
log,
confirm whether the plane was maintained here or not.
Whether it had any fault.
But anytime there's a maintenance, it's logged.
It is logged because if you're a pilot, if you get onto the flight, the first thing you check is the activity log to check the maintenance history. when the last time it was fixed, whether the time was changed, the date, where it was done, the year, the oil change, you will see everything. Wow. And Ghanaians will be shocked.
Okay, Reverend.
What we'll
leave it here for now.
Thank you, Paul.
Yo! Reverend Weber NDC for a headache. Wa prepare ankasa. Until what can say? Or more evidence over 12 women. I don't know NDC for no ref said to me track here yet playing near the Adiana. Hey! Me Manuel. And the Reverend someone ever to any of us for. I know what thing and yes, I mean, can't comment kakra. Oba comment section and fast case we one. Sherry say water don't pass Gary. My Babs say flight in United Mitrisi. Enti ebet matrisi. Mama tells was eniwo. Patricia Priscilla was NDC. Kwabena ofe was NDC. Wow. Ma Patricia enzo ewoso was she bibi akoso. Sanso ene Edward Ankuma Boateng. Was this man is engineer? What engineer? What engineer is a minim so FBI agent too. Minimo. So a FBI agent you. So a deal is a me just as I'm not classy. Information what's it up one also what they ban and what thing. Getting us NDC for the Japan idea no. Papa you have forgotten Mahamafa. Winifred eeii Habre was NDC should come clean with this whole thing because they can win this fight. They can win this fight. Debbie. Oba Ohima Bawo. Was he a corner by you NDC have shallow NDC have shallow mind. Hey, CSMB cray. See, this is what they give to the Reverend suggested something fishy. Abusia for Reverend is someone they able to do what evidence about see when you entity home what home. After no baby you moving and kasa chire mo no one. Hey